UFC Mexico, Erceg versus Moreno just wrapped up, and yes, man, I got every single fight right except for the main event, and I feel like that ruins everything, chat. Like, I was happy that I was doing so good, but I was like, why am I getting every fight right? It doesn't make sense. Like, am I going to finish 100% on this card? And then, the main event happened, and, you know, it ruined my prediction rate. This card was actually really great. Like, Mexicans in general, they just bring good fights. There was some fraud checks in this fight, in this scene. There's some prospects. We're gonna talk about some real bad African prospects. You get me, bro. But overall, I'm impressed with this card. I like this card. As far as the main event, I'd be lying if I said it's wicked entertaining. The fight styles were definitely unique for each guy. Moreno was very aggressive. I actually thought Moreno wasn't going to be as aggressive because usually when Moreno goes against good strikers or strikers he respects, he's kind of circling a lot, trying to find the timing. This fight was completely different. It was Erceg circling the whole time. I think when Erceg gets hit, this is the truth, bro. Like, Erceg got hit hard in the first round, yes, and like you could say he was passive after that, but honestly think Erceg was fighting a little bit different than usual. If you guys remember the Pantoja fight, I remember against Pantoja, he'd be okay with sitting in the pocket, counting with elbows or counting with straight punches when Pantoja would blitz in. Since that fight, he did get knocked out by Kai France blitzing switch overhand to a hook, and Lance flush and knocked him out. I think that made Steve Erceg a little bit more passive than he usually is. So this caused him to like kind of be on the back foot and not really sit down on his base and like take the counter strikes. But in the second round when he did, because he did do it, like it wasn't like he didn't do it. Like he did it in the second round. And he would sit down in the pocket, like just barely get out there and counter, and he would land every single time on Moreno. I just think after that round, people said this was a masterclass that wasn't close. I don't know. Like, I thought it was 3, 4, and 5 was really close. I do overall agree with Moreno getting this decision because although in rounds 3, 4, and 5, I feel like Moreno was doing a lot of swinging at the wind. Like he was kind of doing like these blitzing overhands and like missing, or like he would try to land, miss, and then he might catch Erceg on the glove or something. He wasn't really landing flush. I'll be real, he just wasn't. But what he was doing, in contrast to Erceg, was being active and being on the front foot. So I did think, looking back at it, 3, 4, and 5, I could see Moreno definitely winning. I thought it was 2-2 going into the 5th. I'll be lying. I thought it was like 2 and 3 were Erceg, 1 and 4 were Moreno, because he got like a takedown at the end or something around 4. And then round 5 was dead even, and then like something happened, some exchange where Moreno just gathered control time. The judges gave it 4-1, all 3 of them. I'm very surprised that it wasn't 2-2 to at least one judge going into the 5th. But yeah, overall I agree with the decision. It's not a robbery. Definitely the right guy won. The game plans were definitely very different. Erceg, who's usually known for being a little bit more aggressive on the front foot, was kind of on the back foot the whole time. Like I said, Kai France might have took away his confidence, dude, and sit in the pocket, which is dangerous. But to be fair, bro, why are we putting fucking bedtime through death row, bro? Like, let Erceg rest, dude. What is that? Pantoja, KKF, and Moreno back to back to back. Dude's been through death row, but I don't think he's like, it was a bad performance. Like, my chat might have just been gaslighting me. Like, yo, man, it was a one-sided fight. It wasn't even close. Like, I thought it was a very close fight. I thought Erceg showed skill, and he showed some tendencies that maybe he needs to fix for sure. But overall, I was impressed with Erceg. I think he did really good. And I think Moreno surprised me too about how effective his high guard was some of these times. Because when Erceg did throw like combos, he would like land one punch and the rest of them would get caught on like the high guard of Moreno. So Moreno fought this fight really well. He definitely won. But it was bittersweet because I really wanted to get all the fucking picks right, dude. And of course, the last fight of the night I get wrong. But listen, I guess it's not really Mr. Kenny. I mean, this is my best prediction rate out of every card so far this year. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know how I feel about this. But like overall, Brandon Moreno definitely earned the victory. Erceg looks great. I don't know what Erceg's gonna get next, but give him a break. I know Moreno probably wants a title shot next, but I think Manil Cap should fight the winner of KKF Pantoja, because I do believe KKF and Pantoja are actually next. So we're gonna have to see how that fight goes or how it plays out or what happens after this. But both guys performed well, but Moreno overall deserved the win. Good job on Moreno, brother. Dale, brother. Mexicano, brother. I gotta say Dale because that's a Mexicano term. You get me, bruv. So I know Moreno's gonna have a night. He earned it. He came forward. He fought with grit. In contrast, Erceg fought a little bit, I don't want to say scared, but a little bit passive. And it made a fight that could have been a barn burn. It was a pretty competitive fight. But I feel like overall, maybe, yeah, Moreno just wanted to fight a little bit more, if that makes sense. He just seemed a little bit more willing to step in there and let the hands go. So yeah, Moreno, great win. He deserves it. All right, co-main event, kind of an easy prediction for me. I kind of expected Torres to go in there and kind of knock him out early. If he didn't, it'd be a long night for him. Kind of what happened. Torres just shows power. He showed kind of patience before he found the shot. Dude, Dober was saying, dude, it's early stoppage, man. Like, let me keep going, bro. What are you talking about? Dude was like, he got it, was like, yo, Cowabunga, man, I'm ready to rock, doing this shit. He was like crip walking a little bit getting up there. I felt bad, kind of, because like the way he got slept, he didn't get slept, but he wasn't responding to like the ground and pound. It was almost like, you know, I don't know what did he expect? And then he gets up and he's like tries to like trudge over. He's trudging over to Torres, like trying to act like he still wants to fight, brother. You're not a real bad man. You got a really chin, brother. But this was a really easy pick for me. I knew Torres was gonna go in there, put the beats on him like Dr. Dre, hands on him, lots of bass, and he did that. Like Dober was game, but wasn't game enough. His chin technically held up. You can't really say he got chinned because he did get TKO'd, but he didn't really go out cold. But definitely a good stoppage, bro. That might have been even a late stoppage. This guy was he wasn't responding to the air shots. What are you doing, bro? Respond, move around, do something. I don't know, bro. I just feel like Torres overall it was a pretty comfortable win for Torres. Showed there in the first round that he's just better than Dober. They're smart for putting this in the co-main event because they knew it wouldn't last very long. They knew both guys were going to Marauder max. Dober came in confident, was forward pressure, but the guy only landed 3 strikes total. That should tell you what happened about this fight. So yeah, great win by Torres. This fight was great. Edgar Chairez, I knew he was going to win. I had him by KO or points. This guy submitted this guy. And what's crazy about this, I actually had bread on this one, and I was like, oh my God, he's going to KO him. This is so easy. He rocks him. And then once he rocks him, just picks him up by his little neck and just starts fucking swinging him around and chokes him out. I was like, fuck, dude. But yeah, of course, Edgar Chairez gets it done. CJ Vergara looked like lost, bro. He was like throwing from a distance, looked scared to engage. Shout out Chairez because he had like a whole story about his grandfather selling a truck so he could continue getting his surgery and stuff so he could continue his fighting journey. His grandfather passed away. Great full circle story because last year he was there watching him. This year he wasn't, but he won. Great story. Good feel-good story. Man, it's good to have a feel-good story in the UFC scene sometimes, all right? This is what this was, a feel-good story. We're all happy for Chairez, and he gets it done against CJ Vergara, who just looked like a bum. Look at this guy, bro. Looks like a Naruto character, bro. He just shouldn't be there, bro. Fucking, no dollar, brother. No bueno, my friend. So, yeah, easy win for Chairez. This guy looks like Alice Pereira. He doesn't really look like it in this picture, but, like, he has the look when he's fighting. It's kind of weird. It's like a fucking, and he rocked him with the left hook, Brother, full circle moment, brother. Dale, brother. I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed. All right, this fight, I'll talk about this because Rosas Jr. is just so cool. First of all, this Chi-Wee-Wee, this fucking corny-ass Chi-Wee-Wee shit, it's not that corny anymore because it has some aura to it. He had the whole octagon, the whole arena singing Chi-Wee-Wees at the end of his fight, bro. And what I like about this fight is that he's improving. I remember when he first came in, my whole thing with him, I was like, Rosas Jr. is just like really skinny. He doesn't really have muscle to him. He's been gaining muscle appropriately. He's been using his strengths really well. His grappling seems to be improved. And what I like about Vince Morales, like in my prediction, I said, I got Rosas Jr. winning, but it's going to be a lot harder than like other people think. And it was. Like it was hard. Morales even had him in a choke. And it was tight. And what he showed me at the age of 20 is that he has grit, bro. You can't make up grit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Real bad men have grit. He's a real bad man. He's one of those people. Like, you can't give someone grit and like, yo, take this grit. Take my heart, man. You can't do that. He actually has heart on his own. Like, he has heart and grit. You know what I'm saying? And like, bro, like his striking looks better too. In the first round, he even hit Morales with some good shots. And Morales had him in some deep positions, and he just wouldn't give up. And at the ending, he was even getting choked, putting a thumbs up, bro. That's aura maxing, dude. He's aura maxing. That's what he was doing. I'm proud of this guy, dude. He's 20, dude. He's 20, bro. 2 years younger than me. And I feel like I'm a jit sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Or a handsome jit, you get me, bro. But, like, he's 20, bro. He's still, like, young. He's still a, up-and-comer. He could be I was going to say he could become the youngest champion. Am I going to gaslight you guys? For bantamweight, though, Umar, yeah. Sorry, man. I love the guy, but it's just like, sorry, unfortunately, bro. Fuck. I'm rooting for him to be the youngest champion, but it's just not possible. Because Umar Nurmagomedov exists, Merab exists. Sorry, brother, but listen, no matter what, you can't knock what he's doing and how good he is. This guy's very impressive, and anyone trying to shit talk him, bro, get out of here, bro. He's the truth, Going in there, putting the beats on these old men, bro. Not old men, but these grown-ass men. He's still not grown, dude. He's just not even in college yet, or just barely in his first years of college. Crazy. He's probably not going to college, but you get the point. He would be in college, He's such a youngin', and he's putting on the muscle appropriately. He's getting stronger, and he's looking good. Really good performance by him. He showed he can control someone for a long period of time. And when he's grappling, chat, I've noticed that he's one of those grapplers who actually actively look to, like, move through positions and look for submission victories or something. He's not just kind of holding you there. So I respect him for that, too. So Rosas Jr., brother, and Dale, brother. I'm going to keep saying Dale because that's a Mexican guard, brother. You get me, bruv. So when my catchphrase can take off here. David Martinez versus Simon Oliveira. I did have Martinez winning, and he did win the way I expected him to. The finish came kind of earlier than I expected, but he caught him with a punch in the first round. Got him out of there in like the first, what it felt like the first, like fucking, it was quick. It was kind of a quick finish. Oliveira just seemed lost the whole time. It was almost like he was trying to look to find his moment, and it just never showed up. While David Martinez was like a little bit like of a wonder boy. He has like a karate stance-esque. about him. Not quite a Wonder Boy MVP. He has a like unique twinge to it. But the way he got the finish, the weave, boom, dale, brother. That shit was right on the button. He put him in. He like kind of put him to sleep. Like he had him like stumbling and bumbling. He followed up on the ground. Boom, boom, boom. His fucking head shaking shit. Like yeah, David Martinez actually looks good. I didn't know too much about this Oliveira guy prior, but you know, being named Oliveira and your first name not Charles in the big 2025, brother, who this guy, brother? You know, who this guy? You know, he kind of had the Charles. Something about him just has Charles aesthetic. Even looking at him right now, it might be the cheekbones or something. Something about him just gave me his last name should be Oliveira. I don't know what it is, so don't ask me. But I just had that feeling. But yeah, Oliveira gets fucking smoked by David Martinez, and Martinez had a good showing here, so I'm actually gonna keep my eye on him. The bantamweight weight class has some good like winners on this card, so yeah, bantamweight, you gotta look out for bantamweight, bro. You know, even though Umar's your father, you got to look for it. Now, this one, I said I knew that Kevin Borjas was going to win. I was going to go for Kevin Borjas. And I'm glad that people see it now. Like, and it wasn't even that I was picking Borjas. Like, when I watched Borjas fight, he's like a good counter striker. Honestly, thought Lazy Boy could do better offensively striking. But this was like a clear 30-27 ass whoop. And even 30-26 damn near. Because the first round, like, he was getting stunned. This guy has like 2 million followers. Poor Lazy Boy getting fraud checked. And I knew it was coming. But when I see it coming, I was a little bit surprised about how one-sided it was. But Borjas just had his timing down, didn't he? Every single time Lazy Boy would throw, he would lead with the same stupid left hook. He'll miss, then Borjas will come down the pipe, boom. Or like a straight punch down the pipe, boom. And he'll catch him. I ain't gonna lie, one time he got hit and he like did a fucking flip. But I'll be real, I don't know what these Mexicans' chins are made out of. But this guy was eating some hard-ass shots and just walking like he was just, okay, I'm okay with this, man. I'm gonna keep eating these shots. How the fuck are you eating these shots? Like, I swear, normal human beings getting dropped, but Borjas showed a good showing. Like, this guy's 2 million followers, the next big thing in Mexico, gets shut down with someone that they were supposed to give him to beat, maybe, but he just couldn't beat him. You know, he's so cool. I don't mind Lazy Boy, but I just saw this coming from a mile away. So, you know what I'm saying? I guess this was a good pick because like he was an underdog pick. Not much people had Kevin Borjas, but no one's gonna care about the fact that I got this whole card right because who gives a shit? I got the main event wrong, but I'm actually proud of this pick a little bit because I feel like other people were doubting, whereas I kind of just knew ball. So, you know, Kevin Borjas gets it done. He actually looked pretty good for flyweight. I don't know what's next for him. He's not like a youngin or anything. Like Lazy Boy's a big prospect, so I don't know what he's gonna do. Maybe he's gonna actually hit the labs, learn like start wrestling more. He did have success when he tried to wrestle, but he did it at the end of every round instead of doing it early. And then, yeah, the whole time you're just getting this fucking face punched in. Poor guy, but Lazy Boy's still good. I don't have nothing against the dude. I'm sure he'll be back. But yeah, it was kind of an easy pick for Kevin Borjas as an underdog here. So great UD. Could have been a 30-26 because the first round was a dollar round, but yeah, he kind of beat him up pretty comfortably. Now this one, let's talk about Atiba Gautier, brother. You know what I'm saying? The Cameroonian, brother. You know, when I did pick him in my video, but I remember live I was like, this guy Medina has a crazy chin. I could see him weathering the storm, dude, and just lasting him and then seeing. Gautier was so patient. so precise, so perfect. Let me start. I should put my glazing cap on, brother. Dung, 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 you know what I'm saying? Real bad man, you get me, bro. Gautier really had it on him, bro. He really had the beats on him like Dr. Dre, you know, hands on him, lots of pace. And what made this a lot better is that it was kind of like, I feel like the UFC gave this fight like one of the featured fights for the prelims because they knew Gautier, crazy power, Medina, you can't knock the guy out, crazy chin. He said, what? I can't knock who out? Beats on him, Dr. Dre, put him to sleep, put him out. Medina was asking for it, so he gets hit. He's like, bro, come on, bro, let's go. Boom, boom, boom. Bro, be careful what you say, brother. Real bad man, brother. What, with African MMA, bro, we ain't done, bro. West African MMA specifically, brother. Nigeria, Cameroon, we had Nigeria and Cameroon already had Francis, Usman, and Izzy. That's West Africa. Now we have another West African, Atiba Gautier, brother. Hope I'm saying his name right because it's a real bad man. He's gonna be the future, bro. He's 22. He's my age, bro. 22. When I hear people being 22, I'm like, dude, you're 22 already in the UFC, putting the beats on people with unbreakable chins. And Medina came out confident. Yeah, dude, I'm dancing and shit. Like he was dancing, coming out dancing, doing all this crazy shit. And Gautier's like just coming out mad mellow. You know what I'm saying? I'm real bad. I'm calm, dude. I ain't nothing for me. And put the beats on him, bro. You gotta respect this performance. I love this performance a lot because it showed me that, you know, West African MMA, we ain't done, bro. You know, and he's a middleweight. As Izzy's kind of leaving middleweight, we got another West African coming in, brother. And he's looking real good. He's looking different. And I feel like he beats actually like a lot of top contenders. He beats DeLinze already. He beats Marvin Victoria already. And he probably chins him. Yeah, get like that. You get me? He probably chins him. You know what I'm saying? I want to see more about his grappling. I still want to see more about him. But from what I've seen right now, he's very patient, very measured. And he's not a crazy Cameroonian. Last time we seen a killer Cameroonian with crazy power was Francis Ngannou. And when he first came to the UFC, I've noticed he was like very wild, winging his punches. Gautier wasn't that. Gautier wasn't coming here and just stupid fucking, yeah, let me just fucking clobber around. He wasn't doing that shit, you know? So he showed good, but he showed to be promising here. And I liked how patient he was. I liked when he found his shot and picked his shots. He was very confident. He didn't really pull his punches. He really went for the kill, and he chinned someone with like one of the best chins, dude. This guy's literally known for getting battered and just going the distance. He just couldn't take the punches now, like this time around. Because Gautier is a different kind of power puncher, dude. Respect this guy real bad, man. He's different from these other blokes, bro. Trust me. He's really different, bro. Really different. But yeah, Gautier is a great fighter, and he's very promising. At the age of 22, he's going to be the youngest middleweight champ in UFC history. Quote me, man. Youngest middleweight champ in UFC history. Yeah, I'm on the hype train, bro. You best believe, bro. I'm going to get this guy on my channel. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, though. I'm going to get him on my fucking channel, dude. He needs this respect, brother. You know, he needs someone like me, brother, to glaze a little bit, brother. Real bad, man. Let's get it popping, bro. But, yeah, I'm very happy to see a West African back in the middleweight picture who's not 36 and who's 22, so young, so like a promising future, bro. 22, bro. What the hell? 22, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy has a great future, bro. You guys gotta remember, Rosas Jr. is the youngest in the UFC. He's 20. This dude's 22, looking like this. Dollar, brother. Moving on, because I could talk about him all day. You get me, bro. All right, this one. I'm proud of this pick, too, because I feel like a lot of people had C-Rod going into this. Costa, I just knew he'd be too much. C-Rod's really good at beating people with, like, O's who are youngins. Bashi's like a 20-year-old bloke, bro. You know what I'm saying? Costa over here was like, I ain't no youngin', bro. I'm established. I'm proven. What C-Rod was doing this whole fight was a little bit confusing, kind of just holding Costa against the fence for the first couple rounds, doing nothing with it. Whereas when Costa had control of him, he would land better shots, good striking. I think C-Rod came alive a little bit in the third round, but it wasn't enough. I think it was a 2-1 clear for Costa, and that's what happened. C-Rod is not bad. It's just that, like, he's not better than some of these guys, you know. I knew Costa was a lot more established. Costa's been on a good little run, too. Like, I outstruck him 159 to 77 this fight. He's just putting the beats on him. Costa's a dangerous bloke, man. Look at this guy. Real bad, man. You get me, bro. C-Rod, he's just C-Rod. You get what you see. Like, you don't always get the most elite version. C-Rod just fights to his level sometimes when the level is only, like, young up-and-comers. Keep feeding C-Rod to these youngins to get them fraud checked, but don't give him, like, people who are experienced, like Maquelziel Costa. Definitely butchered that first name. But, yeah, Costa's just a juggernaut. It was an easy pick for me, you know what I'm saying, and it added to my 100% streak. Now, Loopy Godinez. Loopy, dale. I love this. I actually put $75 on Loopy by KO points. That's how confident I was in her. She did put it on her in the third round, like this Polish street girl came with it. Battle the baddies. Real bad woman, you get me, bro. But Loopy, I expected her boxing to just be way better than Julia's, and it kind of was in the first round. But Loopy showed that she could also wrestle, and she's always been able to wrestle too. But I really thought her boxing was her best attribute. But she showed me this fight that she could do whatever she wants to do, and she did that. She even said in the third round, going into the third round, she needs to take a shit or something. Bro, she was beating her up while needing to take a shit. That's why the Julia girl started walking forward. You know, I'm a marauder, Max, trying to act all big and bad. but yeah, she came alive. Okay, Julia came alive well in the third round. But yeah, Loopy, I knew it was coming. I don't put that much money. If you see me put damn near 3 digits on a female fight, just know I know what's gonna happen. Loopy won easy 2-1, and she's good, man. I don't know what's next for her, but she's a really good fighter, and I like to see her fight. I'm actually entertained. This is one of the better fights on the card, because this Julia girl in the third round was walking in with her hands down, Nate Diaz maxing. Shit was cool as fuck. So I love this fight. WMMA, you know, making a comeback sometimes. Just don't give us that shitty WMMA. Give us like a Mexican versus Brazilian more often, you know, and we get fun fights. That's my opinion. WMMA been having a lot of knockouts back to back in these other fight nights too. I'm just starting to peep that. Like, I remember last fight night, the women were just knocking each other out. Bro, WMMA making a comeback. We can't keep writing them off, chat. Like, it's a matter of time. They're starting to like come back. The strawweights, you know, they're having these great performances. So Loopy Godinez, brother. Loopy, you know, Loopy slammed. She also slammed this girl so hard in her head in the first round. Loopy just a highlight merchant, man. I love her, bro. I'll watch all her fights, and I'm a fan of her. And I'm always gonna put $100 on her every day. But yeah. Great win by Loopy. And Julia, she had a good little like clip farm moment, so she ain't going nowhere. People are gonna still love her and like to watch her. But yeah, she came alive, and definitely in altitude too. This altitude didn't seem to affect a lot of people. Definitely didn't affect Julia because she was walking forward that whole third round. But yeah, great fight for Loopy and Julia. Next up, Rafa Garcia, another pretty easy pick. I actually thought he could get Pichel out of there maybe early, but he ends up winning by decision, which I'm not surprised by. Good power on Garcia. I thought Pichel was going to make it tough if it goes the distance, and he kind of did make it tough. It was kind of close. I think it was 2 rounds to 1 for me. I thought rounds 1 and 3 with Garcia. Yeah, I put a lot of bread on him too. I was throwing around money this card. I don't know why, but yeah, Rafi Garcia went and got it done against Vince Pichel. Pichel's still a juggernaut. He's 42, the oldest guy on the card, for the oldest guy in the UFC, not just card, the UFC. he fights pretty well. So yeah, great win by Rafa Garcia. He had to go through the fire to earn this win because Pichel was a marauder, but the marauding maxing was not enough, my friend. It was not enough. Jamal Emmers, Gabriel Miranda. Emmers gets it done by knockout. Moreno did not want to be there. Like, he fatigued. He actually almost had him in a choke, but he fatigued. Emmers gets it done. Very comfortable win. Both guys are kind of shitty to me. Even Emmers had him hurt multiple times. Took way too long to get him out, but great win by Emmers. And then the first one was Medros and Hubbard. This is close. I feel like Medros started off well. The first round, the second round, Hubbard takes it, and then the third round, Medros just scrapes it out. I don't even know why I split. I thought it was pretty clear 2-1 Medros, but listen, Medros, he made it happen, made it work. His takedown defense is very questionable, though. It looks a little bit lackluster, so people need to check that moment, brother. Who give this guy, brother, black belt? He's not even a black belt. But yes, these were my picks. I did not go 100%, you know. I don't know what 11 divided by 12 is, but I damn near went 90%, whatever that means. I got one right. I got one fight wrong, and of course that fight was the main event. So I don't know how I feel about this, you know. I guess this is not Mr. Kenny, because even though the percentage, this is my highest percentage this year for picks, but I guess like when it mattered, I got it wrong. So I don't know, bro. Trust me, we're gonna go 100% one of these days. You know, I'm not mad at my pick rate, but I'm kind of mad that I got the main event wrong. And Moreno performed well, so I'm not that salty, but happy for Moreno as well. But let me know what you guys think down below. That's it for me, brother, and God bless. 2, 3.